Yeah, I mean, we just saw this a few years ago with the Eagles. They paid Carson Wentz. 2 years later, he was on the Indianapolis Colts. Funny
Right.
happened. I mean, the Niners traded half a decade's worth of first round picks for Trey Lance and moved on within 2 years and 4 starts. There's
Right.
nothing sacred.
Right. And it's all about who plays.
Yeah.
And and here's the other thing. To me, the most interesting part of this is the part that we never talk about, is that Mike Lombardi is pretty clued in, right? I mean, he works in the NFL. Okay. He's not my favorite analyst through the years, but whatever. He's clued in. I'll give him that. He was adamant that Kyle Shanahan wanted Mac Jones. And after Kyle said, "Hey, no,
Now
look,
Mike
guys,"
Lombardi's son is Mac Jones' quarterback coach.
right?
Yeah.
Which is also bizarre.
Uh-huh.
But even after Kyle said, "No, Lance was my guy," when Michael Lombardi was been asked about it, he's like, "No, still, I don't care what he says. He's just saying that." So let's just assume, because since he was so cocksure about this, let's just say he was right. Let's say Shanahan really did want Mac Jones. If that is indeed the case, then don't you think Shanahan's probably walking around the office these days going, "You know what? I'll do what I damn well please." You know what I mean? I'm the big you-know-what around here. I'm going to park my car horizontally. I'm going to show up whatever time I want. I mean, doesn't he have more? If he really did want this quarterback and somebody else said, no, Kyle, you probably should go this other direction. And now he's got Mac Jones and he's drawing up these game plans for Mac Jones. Don't you think Kyle's got to be on some level walking around the office going, "This is what I envisioned," or not? I don't know. I mean, what do you think is going on there?
I think that's probable. I'm guessing the most likely turn of events was they traded up. Kyle wanted Mac, or at least thought he wanted Mac, but it wasn't 100% up to Kyle. When you trade up and you make a pick like that, it's an organizational decision. And of course, he has a lot of say, but so does Jed York, so does John York, so does Denise, so does Adam Peters, so does John Lynch. And I'm guessing the person that wanted Mac Jones was Kyle. And I bet you most other people didn't, because most people don't freaking know quarterback. I can't scout quarterbacks. Kyle can't scout quarterbacks, but he knows what fits his system. And I think he said, "I want Mac." And I think the rest of the organization said, "Absolutely not." And the fan base said, "Absolutely not." And I think the Yorks probably said, "Hey, Kyle, it would be very unpopular for you to trade up for Mac Jones. Why don't you take someone else, anyone else?" And Kyle's like, "Okay." And he was probably swayed against his will. But I don't want to give Kyle too much credit, because if he had been really adamant, maybe would have made a better argument to the organization, gotten them to see it from his perspective. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe deep down he just didn't have the deep down belief,
Conviction.
Conviction, and so he said, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going to fight my entire organization. The owner wants this guy, the scouting department wants this guy, everybody else wants this guy. I'm going to go along with it. I probably have better job security if I go along with it." I don't know. I mean, if you have a conviction and you're really good at personnel, there's no way you give that pick away. But if you don't have the conviction, maybe you do. But I'm just saying, now here we are. It's 2025. Now he's got Mac Jones, and Mac Jones is doing a lot of the things that Kyle Shanahan wants in his quarterbacks. He wants them to throw with anticipation. He wants them to take care of the football. He wants them to read coverage. He wants them to be his brain on the field. And it's hard to find guys like that. Well, he may have found a really, really smart processor here, maybe a couple of them. And now it's a matter of who's going to work out long term. I don't know.
I don't know that Mac Jones was mature enough as a rookie, the way Purdy was, to step into this locker room, this huddle, and take over. That
Right.
was very
I
unique
agree.
and impressive from Brock. I think maybe Mac needed to go to New England, get humbled a
Fail.
little bit, see how hard it can be, because now it seems like he can lead this team.
Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code COHN, COHN, and download the app now.
They accept him in the locker room. They accept him in the huddle in a way they never accepted Trey Lance. And his leadership is effective at 26 after going through what he went through. So maybe
It's amazing.
they needed to take this route.
To that end, and there was a play in this thing that JT O'Sullivan highlighted. It was the play there he threw a slant to Bourne, and Bourne just flat out dropped it. It was like Bourne's only drop of the night. And he's like, look at the film. Look at Mac. Instead of, doing one of these or like Rodgers does or one of those, he ran to Bourne to like high five him and lift him off the ground to be like, hey, you'll get the next one. You'll get the next one. And it's like, that sounds kind of like hokey high school Harry stuff, but it ain't. And that's, leadership is a tough thing. And it looks like this guy, believe it or not, is asserting some leadership as a backup quarterback on a team that doesn't know him that well. It's impressive.
It's such a great example too. Maybe I'm making too much of this, but I'm an English major and my mind thinks thematically and I make thematic comparisons. So Kendrick drops a pass. He had just dropped 3 in the previous game. Real easy for him to go in the tank or for a quarterback to go over to him and be like, what the hell? You got to lock in and just make it worse. But we know what Mac did. He didn't do that. He has a light, loose touch with players that worked in Kendrick Lamar's case, in Kendrick Bourne's case. Not only did he not lose belief in him, he went to him 11 times in the game and he caught 10 passes and went for 140 something. It was the best game of his career. So Mac gets a lot of credit for that. And I'm not blaming Brock for Kendrick dropping 3 passes. All I know is 1 drop snowballed into 3 when Brock was quarterback. And maybe there was nothing Brock could have said to Kendrick in that day. But maybe that's the difference in leadership styles. That Brock's a little tight. Or maybe that's the wrong word. I don't know.
I don't even think it's I don't even think it's a negative on one or the other. I just think it for Mac Jones, who wasn't here until the summer and doesn't really have a relationship with too many of these guys. Now he does have one with Bourne that predates this, right? It goes back to New England. But I mean, it's tough to walk into another guy's huddle and kind of take it over and do it without, it's not, he's doing and saying all the right things. When he's asked about it, he's like, hey man, this is Mac's team. I brought here to be the backup. But then if you talk to the other players, they're like, you know what? There's a cockiness, there's a swagger, there's a confidence about Jones that, he's not thinking himself as like, oh shucks, I'm lucky to be here. He's like, hey, I'm going to seize the moment and let's do this. So they're in a very fortunate position. They have an incredible, whoever's decision it was on the Niners side, if it was, to make it a 2-year deal instead of a 1-year deal, that guy probably deserves a raise because they either have a $7 million bargain for 26 or they have a very coveted trade piece. And some people have speculated to me in the last 24 hours that they would wind up trading a high day 2 pick, maybe for Trey Hendrickson, and then trading Mac Jones in the offseason to regain that pick back.
Yeah. Well, if Brock Purdy comes back and plays well, that's certainly an option. It's Nick for real says, how many yards will Baker bake Siegel for? Oof. Siegel, Stout, Winters all got roasted in this last game.
Mustafa maybe coming back.
Robert Wood says, when you sang Return of the Mac, it was second to none. I do like Brock, not a fan of the interceptions. I'd like to continue to see what Mac can do. And you will, because Brock is injured. All right.